technology during the regular season?
Yeah, so this, of course, is put in to combat some of the sign stealing that's gone on in the past and to try to streamline the process. And while some teams aren't comfortable with the technology yet, generally speaking, it's been received to rave reviews by a lot of teams. The catcher wears a transmitting device on the forearm of his gloved hand. He pushes buttons which can, pitch type and location, and there's a listening device built into the cap of the pitcher, as well as 3 other position players. And so the pitcher can discern without having to look at signs, without, stepping off the mound, without worrying about the guy at second base. He can hear what the pitch call is. And I think there's no doubt by the end of the year, you're going to see all teams using this because paranoia in baseball is paramount, and that will compel teams to say, look, if we can find a way to give signals to the pitcher, much in the way they do in the NFL, calling in the calls to the quarterback's helmet, I think teams will go for that.
So, Buster, when I heard this, I was sitting back and I was thinking to myself, what if now did all of a sudden you got a couple things. The pitcher hears the wrong thing, the catcher pushes the wrong button, so they're off there. And what if some Houston Astro type team intercepts the transmission? Because, hey, look, think about it. This, Buster. A year from now, 2 years from now, there'll be somebody out there trying to do that.
Yeah, Key, you're right. I was on a conference call the other day, and a Major League Baseball official said, yep, they've thought about that. They trying to stay ahead of that. I think there's a general level of confidence that, like in the NFL, they can avoid the hacking situation. And yeah, it's possible. With a loud crowd, I'm curious to see, how loud is the signal going to the pitcher so we can hear it out on the mound. Are there certain conditions where maybe it doesn't work? And keep in mind, the pitcher still has the option of shaking off the call. So if he has any confusion or if the catcher didn't call the sign they talked about before the game, he has the option of shaking it off, and then the pitcher can go back to punching the buttons on the transmitter.
I'm just telling you, Buster, I'm hiring somebody from MIT. I'm hacking that system. I'm finding answers.
Perfect is the enemy of the good.
Exactly.
Let's see if it's good or not. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Buster, when was the last time we've had so many teams that seemed to be World Series or bust, right? You think about the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets. It just seems like it's at an all-time high.
Yeah, and it feels like that there are more candidates than ever to actually win the World Series. Now, we also have to recognize that there are the latest CBA didn't do anything about tanking, and so there are a number of teams doing that as well. But you're right, a lot of spending. That's typical after collective bargaining agreements are signed. Teams are feeling, very happy moving forward and flush with money because they know what the financial system's going to be. But in the American League East, you have 4 teams theoretically that could win the World Series. You got the Mets, you got the Braves, Dodgers, of course. I think go in as everybody's, generally speaking, on paper favorite. The American League Central has been the worst division in baseball for a long time. That division has gotten better. It does feel like at the top of the sport, there's going to be a ton of competition.
Buster, before you get out of here, we have about 45 seconds. Who is going to win the World Series in 2022?
Yeah, so I've got the Blue Jays beating the Braves, and I felt really brave about that when I put that pick out there. But then when I bumped into a member of the Yankees organization, I said, yeah, what have you seen in the Blue Jays? And he looked at me, Riley, and said, oh, you mean the world champions? Because everybody's picking them because they look so great at the end of last season. They have an unbelievable lineup. They're going to bash teams into submission. I do think the Braves have a chance to be the first team since those 98 to 2000 Yankees to go back-to-back. It's a very underrated team, even though they're the champions.
Yep, Braves are sort of like the Cardinals. They're one of these organizations. They seem to just be able to win a lot, even when they're starting over the whole thing.
So the blasphemy from both of you that you don't think LeBron James would get crucified if he left the Lakers after getting bounced in the first round of the playoffs.
He's 100
2
years old.
He's not. He's 37. He's still playing at the top
ancient.
level. See,
37's
I'm yelling
ancient.
Tequila, all this, I just can't.
At basketball, Kareem was an incredible old player. At 37, what was he doing? 37 is
Every
ancient.
time you and I get into the GOAT argument, what are the things that take away it from LeBron?
Number one for me.
Yeah.
Let me just be honest, and I'm not like people you can counter. Well, MJ didn't win finals like every year. Anytime he had an all-star, basically he did. My point about LeBron was this. This is when I think the MJ ship sailed in terms of peak value, right? Although you could argue he got better from here. He put together a super team in Miami. Not only did they lose when they were favored to win, but they lost because LeBron didn't want it in the fourth quarter. Now, he learned from that and got better. But you could replay the universe a billion times. Michael Jordan never, ever, not one time, would play hot potato with the ball in the fourth quarter, in 4 fourth quarters in a 7-game series to lose the finals. So after that, it's hard for me. I haven't seen LeBron equal Mike's
So all the
peak.
times that Michael didn't get to the finals, like we just discount that because you only see
As
the
I
fact
said.
that he's 6-0 in the finals and he's a killer in the
No,
finals.
as I said, every time he had an all-star, one other all-star,
But
he
the league
won the
was
finals.
different. The league was different back then.
Man, they
Well,
both.
see, you're going to other arguments now.
They both are goats and
Yes.
great.
Okay. In their own
Enjoy
way.
them.
There you go.
In
I'm
their
just saying,
era
all-
because they never had a chance to play against each other.
I'm with you on that,
And
Keith.
so, if LeBron James decided to pack his bags out of L.A. and go to Golden State, it's been done before. Kevin Durant did it. LeBron James did it from Cleveland to Miami, Miami to Cleveland, Cleveland to L.A. It's
my
been
God.
done.
But wait,
People move
but
around,
see,
so it's not that
no,
big of
it's,
a deal
it's
no more.
not because Kevin Durant doesn't play de facto GM. LeBron James does. So now you're telling me that an argument that wouldn't be made, the narrative that wouldn't be driven about LeBron James is that the fact that he failed as a GM. That's what people were saying.
No, but
over the last
that wasn't your initial conversation.
no,
that you
I'm
brought
factor-
up.
Key,
I'm
are you
factoring
saying
that
that it's
in.
no? I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a big deal. I think it would be a very
It'd be
big
bigger
deal.
than Kevin Durant.
I don't
No,
think it would
was
be
it?
as big a deal as KD.
No, it will
Because
not.
hear my point on this. LeBron James essentially manufactured his own failure the last 2 years because he's moved pieces around. Now you're telling me you wouldn't factor that into a notion of him moving himself to Golden State?
Yes,
That
it-
people wouldn't use that against him?
People would say he failed in L.A., so now he's running to go try to be on the team like Golden State to try to win another championship to chase Michael Jordan. But it's not going to be the same vitriol that Kevin Durant was facing.
Why not?
Know what
'Cause
else
it's
about the
just
vitriol,
not.
guys? In the end, that subsides. And what people remember are the championships. That's where KD was wise about this. That's where LeBron was wise when he made the super team in Miami. We think of KD. What we always thought about KD is
goodness.
he may be the best we've ever seen, right? Oh, my God. But he's not great. He
Max.
hasn't won championships. That's gone away now.
Max, joining the guy that beat you 3 times out of the 10 times you got to the NBA Finals, you're telling me that wouldn't create hysteria?
I don't know.
You're telling me that
I think
KD
it would
lost
be a
to
big
them
deal.
and it was a big deal.
I think it would
One
be a
time.
big deal. I think it would be a big deal. And I think
3
in the
times?
end, and I think in the end, it wouldn't be as big a deal as when KD went there.
Yeah, I'm tired of
3
listening to y'all
times?
talk about this. Let's see what the
Josiah
callers
in
think.
Columbus, you're on with
Y'all
Keyshawn, J.
tripping.
Willimax, ESPN Radio.
Come on, Josiah. Tell these guys, man.
All right, so I have a lot of friends that are Laker fans, like diehard Laker fans. Honestly, when LeBron went to the Lakers, first thing they said was, he's not Kobe, so I don't care, you know. From the outside looking in, it would not hold the same weight, and Kevin Durant is my favorite player. He left a team that he had in the finals to win up 3-1 and blew it and left and went to go play with that team. LeBron would not receive that much hate from fans. He may receive that type of energy from the media, though. So, personally, I don't think it would be as bad as what KD did. And again, he's still my favorite player.
Josiah, it would just continue to build the narrative that LeBron just keeps jumping from team to team to team.
Josiah
Come on,
spoke.
Joe.
Let Joe speak, because you wrong, Jay.
I'm not wrong on this one. I know I'm right.
I want to hear
Because,
from
Jay,
the
I agree. It would be a
callers.
huge-
Tripling down on this,
Wait,
guys.
Jay, I'm not arguing it wouldn't be a huge deal, and we would feed off. That'd be a feeding frenzy in the
Yes,
media,
it
and
will
LeBron
be.
would get a ton of criticism. There's no
Yes.
question
Yes,
about
he
that.
will.
But if you compare it to a superstar in his prime that just got knocked out by a certain team
Not the
and has
same.
never won a championship, joining a 73-win team, an MVP joining a 73-win team, where now they can't lose, that's different than
It's
a 37-year-old joining
different.
joining a
But they're-
team that's
a
also old and has injuries.
And if LeBron had, if this was LeBron leaving Cleveland before he went to Miami and joined Golden State, it would be the same as Kevin Durant. I know.
Y'all are tripping, man.
Josiah said it.
I
Mark
don't care
in
what
North-
Josiah
what
has to
what Mark
say.
in North Carolina has to
Come
say.
on, North Carolina, please.
Hey guys, I was just wanting to say that, LeBron, since his career, he's been writing his own narrative and saying no matter if he comes back and play these 2 last games to get the scoring title, he's writing his own story. You know what I'm saying? People going to hate on him regardless if he's switched teams or not. So I think if he does go to Golden State, it may be some blowback, but it's him writing his own story. If he broke his leg after this season and couldn't play again, he would look at himself